Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where as promised, I have removed a lot of the barracks. Not all of the barracks, but a lot of the barracks from our construction queue. As you can see by the fact that we only have 3,500 items in the construction queue. So there's a few barracks left in here, but it's mostly been removed at this point. So that's absolutely great. We are currently being eaten alive by barracks costs, so we're definitely not going to be wanting to build much more than this. We'll let this finish up for now, and we'll grow into this current size. There are a few barracks in here still. I want to note that. Actually, let's go into our military tab here, and we can see. We've got all of these barracks built. Yes, I did keep some of these maxing out, but from here on down, we are not maxing them, although we're still getting 20 into Breeze. We're going to go negative for a bit here financially. There's no doubt about that. But that's okay. We'll work our way through this relatively quickly, and we'll make our way back out of debt. That'll be great. And we might actually want to consider turning down our military wages. I'm going to do it for now. That's going to hurt our training rate, but that's definitely something that I'm going to do for this moment. We're not planning on going to war for a while. We're still notorious. So that's definitely something that we're concerned about. No doubt about that. So working our way through all of these railways sounds great. We've got more power plants queued up, of course, and coal mines. A revolution to enact homesteading. Okay. I don't think I'm actually opposed to enacting homesteading, except we can't do it because we have an illegitimate government. So what can we do about our government's legitimacy? We could reform it to 38. 80 days until the election. Can we call an early election? No. Do we think this revolution is going to actually happen in the next 80 days when we get a free government reform? Hopefully not. 10% progress at the next checkpoint? I think we're okay. I think we get the election before then. Because I wouldn't mind enacting homesteading, actually. That's not a bad idea. We are definitely seeing some expenses here, particularly in military buildings. Ammunition is actually quite a lot of that. I would like to check to see what all is considered expensive. Literally just electricity is considered expensive right now. Okay. Well, that's fine. We've got our election in 50 days. Once the election goes through, we'll see about passing homesteading. Who's winning it? The communists. Okay. Well, we'll see how that ends up going as far as legitimacy. Should be relatively fine, at least at the beginning. So, fingers crossed on that one. And yeah, I'm absolutely fine to start up homesteading. We'll just need the legitimacy to do it. No real problem there. Cool. So we're building a lot of things simultaneously, that's for sure. Vultures upon a carcass, huh? So be it. Election in 20 days. Let's go. 15 days until the election. That's absolutely great. We're definitely going to have time to get the election done before this revolution goes off. So that's exactly what we need here. We also need to start turning around our finances, of course. We're kind of strong militarily, but we're eating a lot of costs for that. So the Communist Party wins with actually a majority of the vote, and our best reform is 30. It's an unacceptable government, but at least we're able to actually work on enacting homesteading. So we'll get that underway. We've got a 55% chance. Looks good. Unfortunate that we're still unacceptable, but it's fine. We can at least get some things done. Hey, we're actually turning a profit right now? That surprises me mildly. Our GDP is definitely soaring upwards. I want to check, actually, the GDP rankings. Okay, we are definitely way ahead of everyone else. Beautiful. So that is absolutely great. for the time being, we're just going to continue to work through this construction queue, I think. We've got 310 weeks on it. We need to get these railways done. Oil discovered in Western Guinea. That's fine. There's also a rubber rush ongoing. Cool. So these power plants are going to be finishing up very shortly. There's also an Ionian bourgeois revolt. Okay. I didn't even realize we had any holdings in Ionia. Sure. Let's send Herbert Kitchener on over there. Beautiful. That won't be a problem. No problem whatsoever there. So homesteading should pass relatively easily. We're making 412k right now. We could consider a tax cut here, maybe. 817k to drop our taxes to high. So for now, we're going to have to hold off on that and continue to work on our market access. That's definitely something we're going to need. And yes, we do have a low training rate. That is expected. Not a shocker whatsoever there. So homesteading is going to go through here. That's definitely a thing. That's fine. No concerns at all about that one. We'll be arriving with our forces over here soon enough. I did not realize that these guys were our vassal. Okay, sure. We've gone this long and I didn't even know it. Cool. So there's the steam turbine done. That is absolutely great for us. Let's go for telephones next, and I want to go into our buildings, and we are, of course, going to swap over to coal-fired plants. That's going to be a huge power gain for us. Coal is now immediately considered expensive, but I do want to note that we're working on some coal mines. And then there's all these ports. Yeah, that's a thing. Why are there these barracks in Khuzestan here? These should not be in the list. Let's get rid of those. Cool. That'll be fine for now. And honestly, I think we come in here. Do we turn the ports down again? I think we don't. I think we work through the ports this time. That'll be fine. So this war is going to break out pretty soon. Homesteading is likely to move straight through here. That would be great. We'd be very happy if that actually happened. There's the war with the Ionian bourgeois. That's fine. Hey, at least we get an advance. It's something. How are we doing on our legitimacy now? 32? Okay. Noted. Oh, City of Plenty, indeed. The party will never end. So we're continuing to construct here. There's a bunch of government administrations here that we probably don't end up needing, and there's a lot of ports here that we currently don't need, but are not terrible to build. So that's fine. I would like to get our infrastructure solved. So we're going to get some additional infrastructure constructions going here. We have a bunch queued up in British Central India. Interesting. Okay, this is going to need to be like 8. This is going to need to be like 10. And this is going to need to be like 11. Cool. So that's underway. Opium and coal are currently considered expensive. I mean, we'd love to get additional opium mines. Additional opium plantations. That would be great, but unfortunately that's not currently an option without expansion. We do need to reset some of these production methods. Wait a second. That's awkward. Those were our automobile producers. Ah, okay. I'll have to remember that. Chemical plants can go down to nitrogen fixation process, which we're absolutely happy to do. I don't know how I missed that one, but that's good. And then, of course, in our motor industries, we need to move home counties and Yorkshire. Those were the ones that were on automobile production. Okay, there we go. So that's fine. I would like to get additional coal, but we do have those queued up in there somewhere. There's also oil rigs that will queue up at the bottom for right now. There we go. That'll do. So we're going to be working through these construction queues for a while here. No doubt about that. Mostly working... Are we actually unable to build these here, or is that just a bug? We've seen that happening before where it just doesn't build sometimes. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll make our way through these ports. It's not actually causing us any problems if this can't be built here. It'll just clog up the beginning of the list as it works its way up the list. So that's not the end of the world. I think the policy here will be if they reach the top of the list and we're not making progress, we'll cancel them. That's the way that'll go. So that's fine. And these guys capitulated, as expected. No problem there, and we're definitely seeing our standard of living creep upward. What we really need right now, more than anything else, what we really need is to start dropping taxes. That's very clear. So we'll start dropping those soon. We need 863k. We could actually probably get away with doing it about now. And this would be a swing of 20 legitimacy if we dropped it all the way down, but that would be bad. We're not going to do that all at once. We're going to do this one step at a time. I actually expected that to bring us negative, and it didn't. So that's a good sign. We'll sit at this level for a bit. Okay, there it's negative. That's fine. We'll wait for this to come back positive, which it will eventually do. And we're probably going to want to unsubsidize a lot of our railways. The difficult part here is we're going to need to... Well, eventually we're going to want to swap them over to electric railways, right? Because we're on steam trains right now. We should move to electric trains. There we go. So we're going to move to electric trains here, and let's see what that puts us at. Yeah, we're no longer running the coal expense. We'll see how our electricity is. Now coal's expensive again. Okay, we just enacted homesteading up to study, so that's fine. Beautiful. And let's just continue to focus on growing our economy for right now. So we've got these railways going in. We've got these ports going in. These are not things that are going to be big economic growth for us at this moment. So this is going to be a little bit before we are really having big economic growth here. We've got a lot of ports. A lot of ports. A ridiculous number of ports. And then we've got coal mines on like page 40. So it's going to be a bit. But at the speed we're constructing, we should actually make our way through that relatively quickly, all things considered. Especially as our market access improves. And we are seeing that happening. What's going on in Congo? Just needs infrastructure. Okay. Well, we're working on that. Let's get all of these railways done first. And then that'll be fine. He'll join the movement to enact homesteading. Okay, well, we're working on that actively. So that sounds absolutely great. No problem there. We've got these railways going into Congo. Yeah. I think overall we are going to be reasonably fine on our market access for a while here due to swapping over to electric railways. That should be good. So these are all going to be finishing up relatively shortly. That's great. British Central India's a little low. Zanzibar will come up. That's fine. Standard of living will improve quite a lot. We are seeing some radicalism drop off. That's good. How are we doing on unemployment? 1.69 million. Okay, so we definitely do need to work on that unemployment situation. There's no doubt about that one. Oil discovered in New South Wales. Sure. Congo is continuing to progress here. 3 more weeks on that, and we've got 299 weeks in total in this construction queue. That's really not all that long. Proletarian diplomatic play. How rude. Okay, I'm going to send Philip Shepard off over this way. Apparently he won't go there. Okay. I'm going to send Herbert Kitchener off over this way. Apparently this is a different war. Not entirely sure what's going on here. Why we can't go to this front. But okay. We'll wrap up these other 2 fronts. No problem. You were intended to go to this front, I believe. Hop on over there. There you go. War propaganda. Cool. So that's absolutely great. How are we doing on homesteading? Oh, this is very likely to pass. Cool. That looks phenomenal. So we've got a lot of ports underway, right? No doubt about that. A whole lot of ports. Political agitation has been unlocked. We're starting to get to the point where we're thinking about canceling, particularly these Mauritanian ports. I think that they do have to get canceled. These Indian Ocean Territory ports, I'm not so sure about that. The art of doing nothing. Indeed. We'll welcome their support. That brings us up to 80% now. I mean, good odds there. No doubt about that. Our ports are going to be fairly expensive. We have a big surplus of convoys. We're not shocked about this. I'm a little surprised that we haven't run into a shortage of steamers, though. That's a little surprising. But we do have a lot of ports to go here. No doubt about that. When last we looked, we had like 40 pages. We are down to about 30 pages of ports. So we're definitely making progress through the endless amount of ports. Another diplomatic play against us. That seems ambitious. This is going to break out shortly. I think we're just going to let this battle break out here. And then we'll take these guys over, and then we'll head down over this way with the forces that are here. That's fine. So we're going to push through this with no real issue whatsoever. Beautiful. This actually just combined into a single front, so I'm going to have these guys come down to here just to be sure. Nothing more to be done there. That's wonderful. Another Ionian proletarian revolt. Okay. I guess we are going to send on over... we'll go with Bartholomew Les. That'll be fine. Cool. No problem there. And all of these wars should be absolutely no issue for us. Our radicalism is awkward, no doubt about that, but we are getting those Indian Ocean territories being worked on. Another proletarian revolt, huh? Not sure where that one is, but we can probably... I think that's this up here. Yeah. We can repurpose these guys for that. No issue there. No issue at all. So that's all dealt with. We'll get this capped. There we go. Sadly, a front broke out up here. That's very, very awkward. Are we still in surplus here? Actually, yeah, we're still working through gold reserves, but that'll be gone in just a couple of weeks here. I'm not shocked about that. So there's the Andori Peasant Revolt over, and now I want to move these guys on up over here. Perfect. So these wars will break out fairly soon. And that's great. Absolutely no problems here. How are we doing on the port construction? Well, we can see that these ports in Mauritania are definitely not being built. So we'll get rid of those for now. Checking through the rest of these. These in Indian Ocean territory are also definitely not being built. Okay. Beautiful. And we've got about 20 pages of ports left to go here. Not too bad. So we've got war breaking out. It's irrelevant. We don't really care. It's absolutely fine. We'll get this all dealt with, and we're going to see our economy really start to explode again once we're through these ports, but it will take a bit to get that done. And I'm okay with waiting on it. This is absolutely fine. We can run a deficit for a little bit. I'm not too concerned. Yep, there's war with the Ionian Proletarian Revolt. No issue here. That's already dealt with. And how's this battle going? As expected, wonderfully. Cool. So yeah, no issue at all. I do want to go after Persia, Afghanistan, some of these areas over here for opium. That's definitely what we're going to be looking to do once our infamy boils down a little bit. Oil discovered in Khuzestan, always great. We can continue to... Oh, wow, that's a lot of oil discovered in Khuzestan. Okay, I'm going to queue up some of those at the beginning, but most of them at the end. There we go. So we're working on the oil right now instead of fully working on ports. But it's not like that's going to take long for us to work through. And we're still working on ports behind the oil. It is good to have all that done. More ports in Mauritania here not being worked on. Okay. Those must have been built at some point via, like, private construction or something. Not a big deal. So that's all good. Of course, we're going to wrap up these wars very, very shortly. We're expecting no major issues here. We'll just push on through. And there we go. Yeah. We just clean up this front and it's all under control. Very little that they can do here. Beautiful. We're watching our GDP continue to creep on upward. But once we're really working on our raw resource production again, that's going to be even bigger. No doubt about that. We've got 8 weeks on these oil rigs, and that will be a decent production, but the ports are a drain on our resources right now. No doubt about that. These two in Senegal are... Oh, I canceled one incorrectly. They're clearly not being worked on, so we're not going to have those clogging up our list. Similarly, I thought I saw one over here, but it looks like it is being worked on now. Okay. How many more pages do we have here? 17. Not bad. And really it's 16 because of these oil rigs. So 16 additional port pages. We're definitely working our way through this. That looks great. Is this actually being worked on? I'm not sure that that is. There's homesteading. Fantastic. So we can go into our rural areas here. Oh, hello. We can definitely go to chemical fertilizers for each of these. That's something that we're interested in doing. No doubt about that. Anything else that we can do down here? So we're in subsistence farms here. Yeah, we're on homesteading and home workshops. Okay, that'll do. A donation of knowledge. Yeah, we'll take a free university in Yorkshire. Sounds great. Bread basket. Okay, pass the homesteading law and be the leading producer of grain and then it went away. I don't actually know what that is. Hang on, I'm tabbing into Steam here. Be the leading producer of grain and groceries. Okay, only 4.4% of players have that. Cool. So we're now the bread basket. I like it. Absolutely phenomenal. Not that we tried to do that. It just kind of happened. So this war is obviously over, right? It's not going to take too long here. Do we want to get any additional laws passed? I mean, I'd love to get a hospital change, a citizenship change. Both of those would be very good. In terms of things that we actually can change, there's not really anything that I want to. We have a South African diplomatic play being made against us. Sure. I'm going to send Herbert Kitchener down here. And I believe we also have Philip Shepard raised up. Yep. And down we go. Cool. So that's all fine. We'll get these wars over soon enough. We have a couple of these that are raised, though, that we should, at this point, demobilize. Like this guy, Bartholomew Leslie. Done. And who was the other one? I think we had a fourth, right? I wish that there was a different icon for raised, or for unraised versus standing by. I really wish that. Sadly, there isn't. At least we can demobilize one of those generals. So that's something. We did break 800 million in our GDP. That's great. And we're continuing to work through these ports. We're building how many pages at a time right now? 9 pages at a time. And we've only got 10 pages to go on ports. So that's looking really good. Now there's probably going to be a few more that need to be queued up. And some of these may not actually be being worked on. Yeah, I'm going to cancel all of these that are up here and not being and did not get any progress in the last week tick. So we'll get that done. Cool. Now, some of these ports are probably not actually complete, but that's fine for now. Mechanized farming. Excellent. So we're going to hop into our buildings, and in our rural areas, we're going to go down to tractors, and that'll be great. That will consume tools, coal, and engines, but we're okay with that. Rice farms we can't actually change, but millet farms we can. Livestock ranches, we can go down to mechanized slaughterhouses. That's absolutely great. We're very pleased about that. There weren't any other production methods that we can put in, right? These are motor industries, of course. What else can we do here? Yeah, that's as good as it gets for right now. We don't have rayon at this time. And of course, we're going to be working on telephones. We don't actually have access to telephones at this moment. So that will be necessary later. For now, though, it is time to put a cut in here. I'm noting this, which isn't necessarily great. National militia is not something that we actually want. Trade unions are endorsing it. Trade unions are not going to be great for that. Okay. We may end up fighting a civil war to prevent that one. We'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.